It's the purple IN9Pro. So today I have a pretty cool gaming mouse from inphic. The specs were pretty similar to the Superlight 2, so I thought it'd be cool to do a comparison. The pricing of this mouse is a lot cheaper than the Superlight 2. It retails for around 40 to 48 USD depending on whether or not you add on the 8K receiver. Yeah, exciting! It's the purple IN9Pro. I don't know if you can tell it off, but I tried to match it, so I set up as purple today. Minor detail, but I appreciate them using paper that's recyclable for packaging, because usually you get plastic. And then you plug this at the back of your computer. So let's do that. When you go to the driver manual, the one you should download is the Hub Macro Driver version. So don't go for the Cloud Driver versions, go for the Hub Macro Driver version. But oh my gosh, I finally got it, because this one doesn't work, but this one works. DPI settings. Basically you get like 8 levels of DPI customization. Realistically, you won't even need them. I mainly just want the purple lights, so I'm gonna set that. 200 is my usual DPI. Get rid of this one. You can switch DPI easily by pressing the DPI button, and it'll show you what lighting, so I set the purple one as the one I usually use. And lighting settings. Put my blinds down, but this is so cool. You can put RGBs on your mouse. while, but basically you have to pair the 8K receiver first. So you switch it to 2.4G mode and then you hold the button until it flashes really quick. So like that. And then you plug in the 8K receiver and then that should be paired. And then you can choose up to 8K polling rate, but usually I don't play on such high polling rate, so I'm just gonna try 4K polling rate. But yeah, it is a lot heavier than the Superlight. So the Superlight is 60 grams-ish and the inphic is around 92. So it's like 30 grams heavier. So let's see. Because usually I prefer lighter mouses, but I did try a really light one which was 40 grams and that was way too light, so I'm keen to try this one out. Okay. It's very nice and smooth. And also it doesn't feel extremely heavy because I feel like the skates give it a nice glide. The mouse tracking felt extremely accurate on the cloth pad and I didn't feel any input lag to the mouse movement. So this got me really curious because it low-key feels better than the Superlight 2. So I did some research and turns out the IN9Pro uses the POR 3395 sensor, which is better than the Hero 2 sensor in the Superlight 2 in terms of specs. The factory skates on this mouse was also frictionless and smooth, which allowed for easy glide on the cloth pad, but I'm wondering if the performance will be just as good on a glass pad. Similar to the cloth pad, the mouse movement was registering really well on the glass pad, with no input lag and no performance issues. However, the skates are designed for cloth pads, so it felt quite slippery due to the lack of friction. Pretty good. I think I'm going to try and put on some Tiger ice skates because the skates that come with this does feel a bit slippery. Should be easy to take off. Okay. It's already really clean. Just gonna wipe it more. Let that dry. Mello's come to visit. Hey baby. You're so cute. I really enjoy using this mouse and I prefer it over the Superlight 2 for most games. But in terms of Valorant, the ergonomic design is not suitable for my grip style, so I wanted to see if they had other models. I did some scrolling through the website and found the In9P, which weighs the same as the Superlight 2 at 60 grams and has better performance. With the Trump tariff clips going around and China exposing big brands, I realized that expensive doesn't necessarily mean it's better, and I definitely experienced it with this mouse because it's literally a third of the price and performs even better. One recommendation I have for the company inphic is to produce their own skates for glass pads, because popular mouses like the Logitech have custom skates from brands like X-Ray Obsidian, but I wish I could get custom skates for the In9Pro. I don't really like using dot skates either because there are more edges, which means more of Mello's hair gets stuck. Oh, I didn't know deathmatch was this chaotic. This is chaos. So I used this mouse for a bit and it's actually pretty solid in terms of functionality. There was like no noticeable lag, no weird glitches with the polling rate, and it tracked the movement really well, even on the glass mouse pad that I'm using, which like some mouses struggle with that. In terms of performance, it holds up really well, and that's really impressive because this cost around like 40 USD, whereas the Superlight cost around like 120 USD. It is around 30 grams heavier than the Superlight 2, but honestly it didn't feel like much when I was using it. And I think the main thing comes down to personal preference because this does have a bulkier design with an ergonomic grip. Also, the extra weight might be a factor too, but it honestly didn't feel much heavier than the Superlight 2. But yeah, overall it's a very solid option and it's way cheaper.